What's up, guys? Mano here. Been busy helping the family with a new business venture we just started, and it's actually a miracle that I managed to go out for a ride and make this video. Tough times make you do things that you are not used to doing, like opening a convenience store or, starting a YouTube channel like this. Anyway, I had the chance to go out with the wife on a 2017 Honda Africa Twin, the CRF1000L. My old man has had this bike since 2018, and he has taken it to some amazing road trips in parts of the Philippines. I, on the other hand, rarely ride it since there are a lot of motorcycles in the family garage, and I prefer riding my really old 1984 Honda XL600R. Lately, though, I managed to spend some time on this bike since we are selling this, and decided to take it out for a decent on paved road trip with the wife for our anniversary. So, this video will be somewhat of a first impression and two up riding review on the 2017 Africa Twin. But first, what is the CRF 1000L Africa Twin? Well, this bike is basically an adventure bike, the kind of motorcycle made for long trips over various terrain, mostly off the beaten track, while providing comfort, performance, and versatility. Think of it as a multi-tool with two wheels, long travel suspension, and a powerful engine. The CRF 1000 Africa Twin came out in 2016 and is still available up to this day. The most recent model received some upgrades, such as a bigger engine, more electronic aids, and cosmetic upgrades to name a few. This is actually the revival of the legendary Africa Twin 650 750 of the late 80s and 90s, which was discontinued at the turn of the century though. We do have one in the garage, and I will make a comparison video with that soon. This bike that we have here is one of the CRF 1000L models. This is powered by a 1000cc 4-stroke 8-valve liquid-cooled parallel twin producing roughly 100 horsepower and 98 newton meters of torque. Weighing at 230 kilograms with most of its weight right where the engine is. Ground clearance is way off the ground. Suspension travel is more than enough that a regular rider will ever need, basically. Wheels are 21-inch front and 18-inch rear. Definitely made for rough roads. Seat height is way up there also, but not to worry since the bike gives you the option to put the seat on a lower position. The bike comes standard with anti-lock brakes with the option to turn off the rear, and you also have 3 levels of traction control with the option to turn it off as well. So, what is it like? Starting with the looks of the bike, you can immediately tell that this bike is meant for business, and by business I mean serious riding, may it be off-road or on the street. Every angle that you look at it says, come on, ride me, ride me anywhere. Add luggage and it becomes a very capable tourer on and off-road. Now, the only side of the Africa Twin that I don't like looking at is where the giant stock muffler is. That really has to go. It's ugly, basically. As for comfort, the stock seat is firm and reasonably narrow where it meets the gas tank. It's narrow enough to be comfortable and also allowing you to put your feet down easily, both feet flat, actually. Or you can one foot it, on stoplights and stuff like that. The reach to the handlebars is easy and it allows a lot of body movement, and the peg position is just right for me. By the way, I'm 6 feet 1 inch tall, and I find the Africa Twin's seating position perfect for my frame. Take note that a set of 1-inch bar risers have been installed, and it makes the reach much more comfortable, especially in my case since I have a lower back problem. The riding position of the Africa Twin gives you that in the bike feeling, not like on other bikes. Let's say for comparison, a sports bike where you feel like you're on top. and it wants to throw you over. Now, for the wife, she finds her seating position perfect as well, since she is perched slightly higher, making her see the view ahead over my shoulders, but still allowing her to wrap her arms around me firmly. Now, the rear seat is comfortable and roomy, allowing her to adjust her sitting position anytime. She also likes the top box that we installed at the back because it acts like a backrest. Rear peg position allows her to squeeze my torso for stability and gives her room to stretch her legs a bit. Now, it's not all praises though in this area. Now, the fairing and the windshield serves its purpose at deflecting wind, but I find it really obtrusive, especially with that smoked windshield. And along with that, the dash, the speedometer, and everything that you need to know about the bike is easy to read, which is good. But I also find it annoying since I prefer to look at the road ahead. Now the seats may be roomy and firm, but me and the wife agree on one thing. It's not where you want to be, the whole time. Like you have to take a break after a 2 hour ride or a 3 hour ride. It starts to get numb. Now for engine performance, well, the power is there, right? It's 1000 cc, and it's no joke. Acceleration is smooth, predictable, but also very exciting if you're aggressive with the throttle. Managing the Africa Twin in urban traffic is also manageable. It's not twitchy or wants you to give it gas all the time, since the torque is right there at lower RPMs. On the highway, it is very compliant. The ability to cruise and accelerate is like a light switch. Let's say you're starting at 100 kilometers per hour. You're cruising at that speed, and just give it some gas. It goes quickly, but smoothly also. We did manage to hit 190 at the straightest road in our trip. Cebu is very tiny. The island of Cebu is very tiny, and long stretches of road are very rare here, by the way. Now for braking is very confidence inspiring. Even with the passenger and luggage at the back, the brakes never felt lacking. Well, of course, a bit more pressure is required though, but braking is very responsive. Now this bike has 13,000 kilometers on the odometer, and the brake pads are still stock, from when we purchased it. If they were newer, I'm sure they would feel much better, also, of course. Now for cornering and handling, this part is what I like the most, despite the fact that the tires has a bit of mileage on it and the tires are pretty worn out, kind of squared actually. Now handling on low speeds, especially in city traffic, is absolutely fine. I can lane filter with ease even with the panniers installed. High speed cornering is where this bike really shines, just like all ADVs. With a tall ground clearance and easier ergonomics, getting in and out of a corner is easy, and I tell you, it's very satisfying, even with traction control off. If the tires were newer, for sure, my wife would be very nervous in the whole process, in this whole trip probably. Now, I'm generally impressed with the bike. The wife also enjoyed the majority of the trip. It's got usable power, great handling, versatility of use, and reasonably comfortable. Also, the aftermarket options for this bike are endless. A simple search in Google would probably give you a ton of results, like results from Lazada, Shopee, and all those other online selling platforms. You will see a plethora of accessories and stuff that you can add to your Africa Twin. Now, if there's one negative thing that I have to say about our experience with this bike is that it does everything so well, actually. Close to perfect. It feels very predictable, and despite that, it becomes kind of boring at times. You know what it's gonna do. It's very predictable. It has very good manners. It's not strenuous. It's not overbearing. Also, there's nothing in particular that stands out. It does everything really well. Now, if I were riding this African Twin solo, I would probably be giving you a different opinion or review. Maybe in a future video, I might take it off-road. That's where this bike is supposed to be. That's if I don't sell it yet. Now, would I recommend this to a new motorcyclist? Well, the answer is no. Absolutely not. In my opinion, it's too much of a bike for a newbie, and I would highly suggest that you start with something smaller like a 250 or a 500 or something with a much lower seat, of course. And but for experienced riders who want an all-around bike that can do longer trips on any terrain with their partner, then this would be something I would highly recommend for you and for your long-term ownership. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more upcoming videos. Ride safe and hope to see you next time.